Well, from making beats to reading scripts, our next guest shows celebrities how to go from the stage to the big screen.
Casting director and acting coach to the stars, Tracey Moore, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
So you've worked with everyone. I mean, look at this wall. Busta, Eve, Terrence J, Roxy, Tupac, Biggie.
Yes.
How do you help them make the transition, as Shannon said, from the stage to the screen?
I think the easiest transition for musical artist or host is to have a role that's similar to their characteristics. Not to go so broad like a Shakespeare play, but get something, because it's less intimidating and it's close to their experience. And so I've been really blessed that my clients have had roles like that to be able to transition. And then from that we can build on to other characters and add layers and things like that.
Now, were you ever an actress yourself?
I will never admit that.
Okay, so, then, so that brings up the question, how did you become such a great coach?
I'm originally from San Francisco, and my story is $200 a one-way ticket in a trunk 30 years ago this year from San Francisco. I came here and I had a dream, and so I wanted to pursue this dream. I did stage in San Francisco, but it wasn't my final destination. Directing and playing with actors, all my friends all day, is my final destination.
So then how did you get into this business, and how did you score such big stars?
Well, I actually started a company called The Joke's on You in 1985, and I played practical jokes on people until 1989.
Really? So you were the original punked?
And yeah, I mean, it's crazy, but we were like sort of like a singing telegram, and we would go out and play practical jokes. And so a director asked me to cast a music video. I didn't know what that was, but I knew I could help my friends. I became a casting director. I did New Jersey Drive, and that's when I auditioned every rapper from Biggie to Tupac, and I was like, they need help transitioning. And then 1999, officially, I became an acting coach and have been coaching ever since.
My goodness.
Very
what
blessed.
was Tupac like when he walked in the door?
He was great. It was his presence. His presence, you know. In terms of presence, Oprah Winfrey and Denzel, there's a presence that comes before them. And so that's how, and very confident. And Biggie was funny because he was up against Heavy D in New Jersey Drive. And he was like, Tracey, you should cast me because I'm going to be big one day. And it was crazy, but we had to cast Heavy because of the
He already had
name.
name recognition. So how important is it for one of these people trying to make the transition to have a coach?
I think it's essential. I think that I'm like a real coach. I train you. I work that muscle. I work the dramatic muscle. I work the comedic muscle. I also work in media because it's important to be trained for your junkets, your interviews. And so I think that actors, their life is about recreating the human experience through other characters. So I think it's really important that you work with someone or you take classes, because not every experience you have knowledge of.
That's true.
Not every character, so you need to understand and experience that. So that's what I do.
Now, do you encourage them to continue throughout their career? Always, like even big stars like, you know, Kerry Washington, who's on a weekly series, should they continue to see coaches?
I have actor friends who constantly are tuning up. You always need to fine tune up. You always want an outside opinion, and sometimes actors get stuck in a certain type of character, and
they almost typecast themselves in a way.
Exactly. So, you know, you stay fresh and you work on other aspects of your talent. You know, if you're a strong comedic actor, then I would work dramatically with you, and vice versa.
So what's the process like with working with you? How does it work? You come in, do you have a moment where you sort of assess their strengths and their weaknesses, and then you take it from there? How does it work exactly?
Well, initially I have sides, pages of a script. I'll choose something, and my first question is, what's your finish line?
What's your finish line?
What's your finish line?
Okay.
Because
what does that mean?
I need to know how I'm driving you to the destination that you want to go. So I'll use Terrence, actually, as an example. Terrence wanted to be an actor. And so in working with Terrence, specifically with media training, but also being able to look at roles that, like he did Stomp the Yard too. So how is that going to take us to the next film, which was Burlesque with Cher? And then, so I look at the big picture so that I know that I'm driving you to that end destination, which is cut to Terrence will be doing Think Like a Man 2, will be coming out next year. So now he's an actor.
So what are some of these, when talking about this process, what are some of the things we want to learn? Teach us,
Okay.
Can you teach us some acting tricks to the trade that maybe help us cry on cue or, I don't know, what do you teach them?
Well, one of the things that I really teach is working with actors without words. Because actors have a real dependency on words. And there are ways in which you can express facially, hand gestures, and you know exactly what she's thinking and exactly what she's saying. And then say, exactly. She didn't need words to tell you that.
Right.
So,
True.
actors are very dependent on words. So one of the things that I do in my class is called action reaction. So I would give you a scenario and I'd say, okay, you guys are married and you asked him to go in your purse and get you something. He goes in and he sees a piece of paper with maybe a guy's name. So I'll say, you speak and you won't.
Okay.
And so you have to, I literally take words and force, tie your hands behind your back.
Okay, so our hands are behind our back.
Okay, all right. So you
you
speak, you do not. You found another man's.
Hold up, son. No, Lola, whose number is this in your purse? Oh, you don't know, huh? You don't have words? Cat got your tongue? What? This is unacceptable. See, every time.
And then I say, flip it. Now you don't speak. Now you speak. Flip it.
And
Stay in
what
the
do I
same
say?
place. Keep the scene going.
Okay.
He just said to you, whose
number was
whose
this in your
number was
purse?
that in your purse?
I don't know whose number that is. No, seriously, I have no idea. I don't know. What are you talking about? Oh, that number.
Now see, you didn't have any words. You knew exactly what he was thinking, and he knew exactly, and you were able to work.
That
on
was actually fun.
Let's do it again. We should do our whole show like this.
I know, right?
And we'll just.
Oh, gosh. Oh, gosh. Is
Yeah,
there
see?
anything else that you do that is really popular in your classes that really takes it to the next level?
Well, my classes are called The Spirited Actor, and the philosophy is to empower the person inside the actor. You need a lot of stamina on this journey. And so what I teach is from a positive perspective that whatever it is that you choose to do, you can have. And it's all about surrounding yourself with the right energy and uplifting and encouraging energy, and also keeping true to your vision. If you want to be a movie star, then you can be a movie star. You can do whatever it is that you choose.
I like that.
Well,
So.
Tracey,
She's like, maybe not for everyone.
I hear you.
Okay.
And
However.
I don't mean to, speak disparagingly about
Yes,
anybody, but Jennifer Hudson has won an Oscar and Mariah Carey starred in Glitter. So it's not for everyone, really. Not everyone can make the transition.
Not everyone, however, we have to, I believe Mariah redeemed herself in Precious.
Oh, she
she did a
did.
good
That's
job.
fair.
Very
And maybe
That's
she
fair.
had a coach.
Oh, so
Okay.
Because there are a lot of actors out there who don't think they need help. However, I believe that if we're dealing with real life, there's a bunch of life experiences out there that you don't know.
And you got to mine them. Okay, I got you. So,
Yeah.
okay.
We
Now-
bring one
That's
in.
fair.
Now, if people
Just
can't
saying.
take any of your classes, you also have a book. It's called Spirited Actor as well, right?
Yes,
What lessons will we be able to learn from the book?
Again, about yourself. I believe that acting begins with you. And another exercise. There are 5 characters in which you guys play every day. Here's a character right now.
Okay.
Are you moms, dads, husband, wives, significant others,
Dad, husband.
best friend?
I'm a best friend, yeah.
Best
and
friend.
a wife.
And a wife, a daughter, a son,
Yeah.
Supermodel.
supermodel. Look at all these characters. I believed her. Acting is also believing. I believe. I was like, okay, that's a good one. Okay. So what I do, and especially in the book, we talk about the characters that you portray every day. You have different posture, different costume, different verbiage.
That's true, actually.
So when you start with yourself and think about the characters in which you play in your everyday lives, then it helps you to begin to understand and transition into being other characters. Because acting is not pretending or imitating, it's totally embodying the truth of that character.
Can we talk about reality television?
Sure.
How do you train someone to appear on a show that's supposed to be about reality and not acting?
Well, I actually don't.
Okay.
I train reality stars to transition to film and television,
Oh,
just
got
like
you.
just like musical artists and hosts. That's what I do.
So how do they make the transition, and do you find it easier or more difficult for them to make the leap?
I mean, it depends because reality TV has made reality stars, and it's also gone into the branding aspect as well. So what I do is, first of all, I want to know if you're really serious about doing it.
Makes a big difference.
That's what I want to know.
Right.
And I also want to know why you're doing it. There's a difference between I want to be a star, I want to be famous, I'm passionate about this, and this is what I want to do.
Can you tell the difference initially?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
What are the telltale signs that someone just wants to see their name in lights versus someone who's committed to the craft?
You can sense wanting to prove something, wanting to get back and show somebody. When you hear that type of dialogue, then you know it really isn't. And I'm not saying all, but you know, I also delve into that. A lot of people say that my classes are therapy. I don't have a degree. But I think it deals with honesty because I'm honest with my class as well, you know, and my experiences as well. And so, and there's also, in dealing with celebrities, there's a confidentiality that is just, it's assumed, but it's enforced with me because I think it's important to create a trusting room. And so I treat my classes the same way I treat my celebrity clients. And so when I build that trust and that comfort, then you will go beyond. You know, I'm not the acting coach that's going to scream and yell and swear. I'm not that. But I say the same thing that they do, just in a different way.
So what advice would you give to someone who you see the passion in them and they want to be a star, they have the drive and they have the ability? What advice would you give to them?
I would tell them to focus on the work. Work begets work.
Yep.
Okay.
So when you focus on the work and the best of what you can be in that, you don't need to be concerned about being famous or being a star because all of that's going to come to you.
I love that.
I try to tell people that all the time. They don't hear it though.
Well, and the thing is that you too are 1% of the population that seriously goes after their dreams and accomplishes their dreams. And then the rest complain, bitter, frustrated, all of those negative energies that are not going to create a positive journey for them. So, but it is about the work. When you do great work, people will find you. You don't need to find them.
So true.
Speak it, sister. All right.
Work begets work. I'm writing that down.
Now, before we go, you have to tell us about the feature film you have in the works.
So excited. I have been so blessed to have an opportunity to work with New York Times bestselling Carl Weber. And he has 17 New York Times bestselling books.
Yes.
And we are shooting The Man in 3B, which is one of his books, December 1st in Los Angeles. And then we'll be back in New York to shoot another TV series called This Family Business, which I'm really excited about because it's an African-American billionaire family, and they have a car dealership, luxury line. So I came in as an acting coach on the set, and now I'm producing.
I love it. Well, if you ever need
Some actors.
journalists,
Yes.
I've got my technique going.
Yes.
Well, you know what? Not only journalists, but also political. You guys would be great as, politicians. And there's a lot of scandal and stuff. And you can get his book, The Family Business by Carl Weber.
Picking that up.
The Family Business 2 is out, so that'll be for our next series. But I will definitely keep both of you guys
We'll
in
pick
touch.
it up so we
you.
can study our lines.
Study our
Get
lines.
ready.
How about, because we know each other, I can send you the script.
Ooh,
Oh,
crazy.
I don't know what you're talking about.
And when it comes out, you'll come on the show to break the news, right?
Yeah, and we'll
Okay.
talk about
Yeah,
it,
well,
right?
okay.
Are we
Definitely.
claiming this?
Yeah,
Yes.
it's
Claiming it.
claimed. Got it.
Claim it, spoke it,
Okay.
we'll work hard towards it.
That would be
All right.
great. We'll work together.
Thank you so much
You're
for
welcome
joining us
so
on
much.
the show.
And you're watching Arise Entertainment 360.